Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Sci-Fi Cross Sections, where apparently I'm a fucking liar because we're not going to do Another Life. We're not doing Another World. We're doing the 5th season of Black Mirror. I asked him to. Colin's very accommodating, and this is going to tie back into it, but my first episode was Event Horizon. I, being Andrew Miller of Sci-Fi Cross Section fame.
Andrew W.S. Miller.
Andrew W.S. Miller.
Because of that.
It's actually that the whole recurring joke is because of Event Horizon. And I just asked Colin if I could be on the show for that episode, and he just let me. And now here I am doing awful, horrible, shitty intros for the show. Colin, do you want to pick this back up?
Well, yeah. Well, the reason I asked you to be on the show is because we weren't being very analytical. We were just talking about how we felt about things. And then you showed up for Event Horizon, and you were just like, and this references Christianity, and this reference, and we're just like, he should be here more often. You kind of forced everyone to be a little bit more analytical about.
Not me. No. I just feel feelings.
Who do we have here today? I've heard a couple of sound offs, but
1, 2.
Obviously, I'm here.
Yeah.
There's Mark.
Hello.
Matt's back.
He sounds very enthused about it.
Last but certainly not least, we got Ben.
This format's change is really freaking me out.
I know. That's more what my disturbance was.
I'm really like shell shocked right now by what's happening.
Andrew started it, so I'm kind of just like.
Is Miller the new host?
I am now, right now, apparently.
Right, you've taken over.
You know what?
It's a tap takeover.
Put it on the nitro.
Instead of flush.
Hey, in the event that I'm not here, someone has to host.
This is now a shock jock podcast about sci-fi.
Oh, that reminds me, Bill Jarvis is back again.
Hey, everybody. It's Bill Jarvis back with the podcast.
He actually has a microphone right now. I don't know if you meant to.
If we're doing that, I quit. If we're doing the hey.
Oh, no.
ASM Bill.
That's Bill.
You're a natural, though.
It's his shtick.
Natural.
So yeah, we're back, and we're actually going to be talking about Black Mirror Season 5. All 3 episodes of it. Woo. However, I guess there's some things that we should tack on to last episode that we're kind of excited for. Well, I guess it's not for 2019, but Event Horizon.
I referenced that at the head of the show, at the top of the show.
It's true.
Where is Paul W.S. Anderson back on?
He's getting nowhere near it.
All right, I quit the podcast.
For those of you that haven't heard, Event Horizon TV series on Amazon coming soon.
I love it. I
have high hopes, but expect to be disappointed.
I want to get for you guys who's going to be the executive producer. He's the guy that's doing King Kong versus
Jack
Godzilla.
Jeff Bezos.
Jack Bezos.
Bezos Black.
So executive producer Bezos Kong.
Adam Wingard.
I don't know.
He is the executive.
I think I played Wingard on my PlayStation Saturn. It's not a thing.
Yeah, he's going to be the executive producer / director of the series.
To be fair, the bar for producing an Event Horizon TV show is very low. We are not expecting much out of this.
Remind you
right off the bat.
Just a reminder, everyone, the original Event Horizon came out in 1997, which, and I quote, is the butthole of cinema, according to Ben Young.
Yeah, Ben Young 2012.
Wasn't alive.
That's weird. This is like
I was physically alive, but all of that memory is gone.
This is kind of like some kind of Android synth Fallout 4 thing.
So if only we had like a recording of it somewhere that you might be able to.
No, I wasn't alive in 2012.
Ben Young only allows 10 years of recorded memory. And after that, it just gets cut off. So
5.
He's currently only.
Wait, I've heard you say the butthole of cinema like a dozen times.
No, I've said it on the podcast. Someone said Ben Young Miller said Ben Young 2012. I said I wasn't alive in 2012. Then.
Oh, 2012. You weren't alive.
No,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the other reference.
2012, he
Like
wasn't Ben
one
Young.
one-off
hold
comment
true.
has now taken out.
Benjamin Button, he was Benjamin Old in 2012. He's getting on in years. He's youngifying. This is a nightmare.
So,
So if you haven't noticed, this is an advice podcast.
for the
I
mod
think you
premiere.
should watch more Event Horizon. Watch Event Horizon every night before you go to bed. That's my solid advice.
I don't think
Or
psychologists
don't
would
do
agree.
that.
Cue the Frasier music. That's copyrighted. That's copyrighted. Copyrighted.
I feel like we're all like really slap happy because today's main event is nothing any of us really want to
gonna
do.
say-
Honestly, show of hands
person's gotta
for
go.
me. Obviously, you guys can't. But show of hands. Who's excited to talk about Black Mirror today?
I'm excited to yell about Black Mirror today.
I'm 1/3 excited to talk about Black
About
Mirror.
everybody.
So, without further ado, I suppose we should just jump right into this bad bitch. So, do you guys want to do this in order of
I'll play
episodes?
the first 5 seconds of every episode.
Do you want to do this in order, or could we just like bounce around?
I mean, we might as well do it in order.
should do it.
All right, so
There's
we're
only
gonna
one
start. We're
episode
gonna
that I
start
really want
with
to talk about.
Striking Vipers, directed by Owen Harris and written by Charlie Brooker.
What'd they do? Anything?
Charlie Brooker did Black Mirror, so you'd think it would be better.
You would think it would feel like Black Mirror. This felt like they had a story about cheating that they just worked into Black Mirror.
Can I open up with my summary of this
This
episode?
is a safe space for you to open up about your
I would prefer it if
anything.
you do the summary of all the episodes.
Well,
but we're starting with this one.
I don't know if I have the summary of all the episodes, but my summary of Striking Vipers is Charlie Brooker really wanted to tell us that he kind of has some gay thoughts for his bro every now and then. But it's definitely not gay. He's definitely not gay. He
not
wants
gay
to
if it's in
kiss
a
his
video
bro.
game.
He definitely wants to kiss his bro, but it's not gay. And that is Striking Vipers.
Okay, where's the but? You know,
No, they don't do it. They don't do it on the butt.
I hear a butt coming.
all of this resonates with me.
So,
I don't know where
basically,
the but is.
The main star of this is Anthony Mackie, plays Danny.
Yeah, Hawkfinch, right?
Yes. Him and his bud play a virtual reality game.
For like 3 seconds.
They do some fighting, but then they end up just kissing
Look, I know it's an hour and 7 minutes.
and doing stuff.
I know it's an hour and 7 minutes, but this is like
Oh my god! When you put it like that,
Well, the foreplay was in the 90s when they were playing on the couch.
I fucking guess, man. I don't know.
You know, like, I gotta wonder what part of the script Anthony Mackie thought was good for his career.
The part where nobody would watch this episode.
It's not a bad choice to be on Black Mirror. It's gained a lot of popularity in the last couple of years, and
It wasn't before.
And altogether, it like the acting was good, the dialogue was pretty good, the story felt fine. It just didn't feel Black Mirror.
see, that's what I say about most of this season.
Yeah,
The story was fine, but it didn't feel like Black Mirror. I would say the Miley Cyrus one was the best one for me.
yes.
I agree. I liked the Miley Cyrus one the most, and we'll talk about that, and we'll tell you why. Because you were about to say you like the second one the most. You think, right?
Yeah,
And I'll tell you why I hate that one when we get to it. But yeah, no, this first one is easily the worst of the three, and is 100. The first Black Mirror episode, and there's been Black Mirror episodes that I didn't like. The first that comes to mind is the zombie one in season 3. Thought that one was really dumb. I don't even remember what it's called. That's how much I didn't like it. I think that this is the first episode that I'll tell everyone I recommend to watch Black Mirror to just skip. Because it's like, it's bad. I really think it's bad. I know you guys say like, oh, well, it's not Black Mirror, but like, I just thought it was bad.
Do you think it was bad though?
Well,
I'll cue the Michael Jackson music here.
here's the thing. I didn't want to just like hog the mic on this, but to elaborate, there is an idea that is immediately set out, and It is that a man loves his friend, and his friend loves him back, and doesn't know how to deal with it. And that is the basis of the story that we start with. And very obviously, the moment the episode starts, you're like, okay, this is playing off of San Junipero. Booker saw a lot of success with San Junipero, so he's like, great, I'm going to do it with the other sex now, and we're going to make a gay guy version of San Junipero, and it's going to win a bunch of other awards. And everyone's like, great, this sounds good. Representation plus awards equal money. And it starts off like on a good track, and it's weird who would put that kind of programming in their games to allow into a fighting game to allow the characters to start having sex, whatever. But it's like, okay, all right, this is going somewhere. And it ends literally nowhere. None of these characters I felt like have progressed in any way that made them fully rounded out characters. Anthony Mackie is still like what killed it for me. What made me go, okay, this is done. It was when he kissed him in the rain and was like, no, I don't feel anything. I was like, so he's lying.
Okay.
I also thought that he was lying.
I actually, that's where I'm going to split from you, because I saw it as they emotionally connected, but were not physically attracted to each other. So the video game gave them the physical medium to have that male-female bond where they were attracted to the opposite sex, and it complicated things. So I didn't see it necessarily as like they loved each other and didn't know how to express it, but as they connected so deeply on one level that they introduced the physical aspect and they latched onto that, which is why it became so sexual so fast.
I respect that analysis. I think that if Brooker had done a better job setting up that point of view,
agreed,
then it would have been a worthwhile
they
addition
gave us
to Black
so
Mirror.
little in their backstory that
At the end of the day, that's one of the biggest problems with Black Mirror is a lot of times they're trying to tell a story that requires a lot more time, and they just don't execute it well enough in that short span that they get for these episodes. So
I think they very often execute it well
definitely.
in that short amount of time. I think that's what makes Black Mirror so well known, is how quickly and how effectively they execute character development and progression of plot without sacrificing characters.
that's fair. Well, maybe this episode specifically suffered from not having enough time to develop
Yes.
the plot that they wanted to.
though I will say there are scenes in that I could think could be cut out without changing the plot or the character development. There are a handful of ones that didn't really build character, so they could have instead used that time to build backstory more, instead of having it being like a cold open kind of backstory.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to see them as younger individuals, kind of maybe exploring that emotional connection between them more than just touching
Yeah.
each other on the couch.
I know.
And then humping him on the couch. Like, don't get me wrong. Like who doesn't hump their bro? But they were in their 20s, so
What was it? Choo choo.
A bro job? Are you referring to a bro job?
Yeah.
That was, oh my god, it was just an adaptation of the green text. That's all this was.
That's okay. All right, so let's go back to Black Mirror being a form of 4chan.
Wait, who is this 4chan?
Charlie Brooker is honestly probably just an incel.
If I've learned one thing from season 3 of Sci-Fi Cross Sections, is that Ben does not like incels or people who are incels.
No, they could die.
You're going to alienate our incel audience.
They very well could. And
Everybody's
most of
gonna-
them will.
Yeah, I mean, I'd venture to say 100% of
Sorry,
them.
guys, I'm insulting Bill's lifestyle.
I'm not gonna say it, Ben. I'm not gonna say it. I think you are, by definition, an incel.
No, I'm not.
Cut that out.
I'll cut out every part about this podcast except me talking.
What have we done? No, Mark, do you?
But who are
Really
we
wanna add
as,
anything
what am I trying to say here?
People.
Yeah, who are we to judge what video games you play with your bros, you know?
I mean, I often want to smash with my bros.
Yeah, except when you do it, you're playing as Pikachu, and
That's super.
Oh
cute.
no!
yeah. This took the turn.
VR
You even
chat.
tried that
No.
polar. You even tried the polar bear character.
Speaking of video games, we don't talk nearly enough about sci-fi video games on this
I
podcast.
try.
We did it once with Fallout 4.
Yeah,
Because it's like pulling teeth to get people to watch 10 episodes of a show. You can't expect
very
people
much
to play
is.
40
You're not gonna
hours of
play
a video game.
100 hours of Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, we're 100% doing a podcast
Yes.
on
I'm
Cyberpunk.
100%
But we have a lot of time.
We'll
to take it.
We'll probably do like
on streaming sites.
Multiple
5 weeks of just coming in and talking about Cyberpunk.
Then I expect Ben to start a WordPress on it.
What I think we could do is, because we have our goals for 2 weeks for shows. If we say like, okay, everyone has 2 months to play this game, and then
Yes, ideally we should be planning out that far ahead so you have time to do stuff.
you
I
all have
agree.
2 months to play and finish Horizon Zero Dawn. I'll talk to you all
Oh
later.
shit, we could just do it next. Does anyone else have anything that they want to say about Striking Vipers?
I've said my piece.
Do we want to do good bad sci-fi?
think.
Yeah,
well,
we
that's
could.
at the end.
I missed that.
Well, like per episode, though.
Yeah.
per
episode.
Per episode, would you say that this was good sci-fi, bad sci-fi?
Miller?
I wasn't a big fan of this particular sci-fi. They brought back those like that cool VR game from USS Callister, but that was all it was. To me, it was just like a weird, relationship drama, which primarily took place in the video game. This episode as a whole didn't do a lot for me. I would agree with Ben for once on this being the weakest episode in this particular season.
You always agree with me, you just don't always know it.
I'm gonna hard disagree with you in about 2.5 minutes.
Bad sci-fi, bad episode. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It was a waste of Charlie Brooker's talent. Don't ever watch it.
I would say bad sci-fi because it definitely felt tacked on. The tech part was unnecessary for the story.
I wouldn't say it's unnecessary, but I do agree it's bad sci-fi, especially because they always, while they sometimes bring back like things from different parts of the show, I feel like this is like straight recycled material as far as the sci-fi aspect of it. And just the way they use it has changed a little bit, but yeah.
I would agree that this was bad sci-fi. I think you all said all the points. You said it was recycled, in which it was. I like that you said that while there was a sci-fi piece to it, it was kind of just in the background. It didn't matter as much. Bill, did you watch the episode?
Yes. I'd say it's bad sci-fi because it didn't make me ask a question. I feel like
that.
I feel like good sci-fi is something that's like
I asked plenty of questions.
not the right questions. I question things about myself, but not society.
Why am I still watching
Why
this?
am I still watching this?
Why did Anthony Mackie decide to do this?
Why are my pants off?
Speaking of something that's 100% not sci-fi.
Mark's getting something out of the laundry room. That's pretty fictiony.
No, I meant what's the next episode?
Oh, so yes, we're gonna talk about Smithereens. I believe it was directed by James Hawes and written by Charlie Brooker.
Anthony Mack.
Who wants to give a quick
sounds like
summary
Matt
of
wants to
Smithereens?
Just jump into Smithereens.
Oh, I hate summaries.
You better nail this, otherwise you're fired. Oh, I'm sorry, too much pressure.
Suspended without pay.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I need that pay. Ben, would you like to do the summary, and then I will immediately rant after?
Just off of memory, because I don't have this prepared.
I mean, fly through it. It's fine.
No, yeah. Guy is upset because he's a piece of shit and wants to blame it on everyone else, and decides to take an intern, not knowing he's an intern, hostage of a company, of a social media company, in efforts to get the Zuckerberg equivalent's attention to tell his story. Matt, discuss.
I actually like this episode a lot too.
I did up until the end.
Okay, so I like this. I like the episode because it starts giving you a now, like a present timeline. And I wasn't sure why the hell they were doing that, because they can't introduce nutso technology. They can't do anything. How are they going to pull this off? And then it just kept building as this weird revenge story. And then it immediately clicked when the company got involved that, oh, they're making us try to realize that we live in some weird dystopian, like, tech future now. We love to point out, oh, this is this crazy technology that could get out of control if people didn't do something. But that's exactly what's happening now. We give so much data to these companies without thinking about it at all.
Oh, I think about it all the time, and I still willingly do it.
Yeah, exactly. What's eerie is that if you read in the very, very beginning of the episode, right before it says Smithereens, it takes place in 2018.
Yeah, so it's actually
and so
past.
it's like, yeah, so it's even weird. We're even worse dystopian now.
This isn't the first Black Mirror episode to take place in present day. There are many.
Oh,
of
I'm
them
sure,
that do.
but I mean, it's just kind of, it dials forward that, like, if they had this much knowledge back a year ago, I mean, imagine what they have now. It's just exponential growth.
I roll to that statement. The story itself was fine. It was cool, you know, like, dude, the tension was good, the suspense was good, the characters were good. Topher Grace was phenomenal.
Andrew Scott is an amazing actor. The guy that played
Moriarty.
The driver.
He's a
Okay.
phenomenal actor.
I don't know. I didn't know him, but I do know Topher Grace.
Who was Topher Grace in that?
He was Zuckerberg.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, he looks
my
great,
God.
doesn't he?
He is wonderful
He looks
in that.
better than me.
And I loved that whole scene on the phone with him. I roll at any story that's like, look at how addicted you are to your phones. We are giving internet our data, because that's the future. And if you want to progress as a society, that's the way we need to go. I'm very much in that book, I guess, a futurist, where it's like, I will happily hand over all the data I got on myself if it means that my technology is more personalized to me. Now, in this case, it's also a little bit more towards social media addiction, which I get. And once I learned what Mr. Driver did
Way too late, yeah.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what'd you say?
Oh, I just said way past the point of they. This is why I said go ahead, because I didn't want to get like off on my own tangent.
That's okay.
But they led you to believe that it was more about the addictive side of it, and that he seemed like a frustrated person frustrated with how no one has conversations anymore, and everyone that got in the back of his car immediately was on their phone and wasn't paying any attention. He was trying to engage them, and they kind of led you to believe it was about that. And I feel like it took way too long to get to the actual point they were trying to get across. And I think that detracted from the ultimate meaning of it.
Now,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I actually, if you don't mind, I'm
Sure.
going to
No,
bounce
that's
off of that and say I felt like that added to it, in the fact that his obsession was less about how technology is so bad and you get so addicted. It was that he got sucked into it, and he blamed himself for it and went down this spiral because of it. That wasn't the like crazy tech. It was the executives who could pull this stuff up, and the fact that they could legally and openly just listen in on a conversation while like something was on hold without consent. And there were so many other factors that were the like creepy tech stuff. Himself, that was just a personal problem. That was, he got sucked into this addictive thing. It's like somebody saying, "What my life was destroyed by gambling." Yeah, that is a whole industry built around destroying your life and taking your money. And if you get sucked into it, it sucks and it's awful. And that's a weird industry. But you fell into it. And that was kind of like he blamed himself.
Yeah, and I get he blamed himself, and
I feel like that wasn't
he
the
100% should blame himself because he was a loser. I know you didn't like that. I'm sorry. I might be biased because I work in the data field and in marketing, and I see the importance to the work that's being done there. The whole listening into conversations when you're on hold thing that's already exists. If you call any of my clients, I've listened to your conversations all the time. To not even because I want to know about you, but because I want to know about the employees who are answering the phones for you, to make sure that they are making my job easier by doing their job. So I listen into conversations all the time when people are on hold. And I don't care about that. I don't care about the fact that they can look up my data like that, because I think that if that data is easily and readily available to the people who are going to be in charge no matter what we do, then they might as well use it to make my life better. Which so far they have. I don't see weird ads.
You did. Nice. You changed my perspective on that a little bit when we got into a conversation about oddly accurate ads. Mm-hmm. Like it almost seems like sometimes as you're talking about something, they'll start getting ads for it immediately. And you said you kind of enjoy the targeted marketing of it because you get much better content now. You're not getting content for things that you'll never actually buy, but you're getting marketed towards for things that you actually enjoy, and you I actually might buy this. And I find myself saying that more and more lately when I see an ad on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever, And
you get good enough, you can learn how to hack the system. This just happened actually. I was just browsing D&D Beyond and was looking into, the price for the full book set and such. And I left the site, and like that, because I had a D&D Beyond cookie in my folder, they were like, hey, we just saw you were just on our site. How about 20% off if you come back and get that stuff you were looking at? And I was like, yeah. I was looking at a cool pair of indestructible shoes that I was like, oh, that'd be good for working on set. I looked at it. It was like $70. I don't know if I could invest in that. Left the site. Oh, you like those shoes? How about 10% off if you come back? Sure. Why not? Now come back. It's scary, I guess, but only scary in a 15 years ago sense of the
See, nobody
idea.
Offers me money off to come back to their site. That's my big. Do
you have your cookies off? Do you have ad blocks on?
I do have ad blocks.
That's why.
Oh wow. I'll keep my ad blocks on.
Turn your ad blocks off.
You didn't clip the audio.
It's a breakthrough. Anybody else have anything to add to this episode before we move on?
I'd like to talk about how I do market research because as soon as I started with this answering service call center, every single ad is a competitor of mine that I look into.
Yep.
Every single time.
You're welcome.
It's amazing.
They didn't mean to do that. But.
Yeah, they did it for me. They did my research for me, which is amazing.
I did also want to say that I thought the cut to black was really cheap and really dumb, and they didn't need to do that.
I would have liked a more concrete ending for sure. I mean, it was rough not knowing exactly what happened, but I think that it just I think what they were going for and maybe didn't stick the landing was they were trying to go for now that this event is over, everyone's just going to go on with their lives like
that's
nothing
what I
ever
thought
happened.
They were going with.
Because
I figured that
everybody's getting these they're getting these notifications and they're just like, oh, I bet I'm in traffic, I better drive, or somebody patted me on the back, I get disengaged now. And even Zuck himself,
Topher Grace.
It's Topher Zuckenberg.
Billy Bauer, is that?
Yeah. Even he just went back to his quote unquote techno retreat. It's just the transient nature of all of these tragedies we're seeing on social media that are just, they're flash in the pan. They're just, it's a hashtag for 30 minutes or so, and then something else happens. You can see it now. As soon as something happens, something else immediately comes in to take its place. And there's a whole insidious sort of psyop kind of conspiracy going on that I'm not going to get into here because I don't want all of us to be drone struck. But I'll just say that if anybody listens to this and takes anything away, spend a little bit less time on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter right now.
I bet you are.
I'm arguing with an idiot.
I definitely. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I was gonna say that was an amazing point. That's
why they invited me to do the show in the first place.
That I missed.
I've got all the comments about Christian imagery. I've got all the comments about drone striking incels in Bill's basement.
I also liked they kind of made a point about the dangers of spreading misinformation. When those two kids who just would not leave because they were so interested in being in harm's way that they were listening in on everything and taking all the pictures and videos, and then they wound up spreading the
everything. Information in this universe and in our universe even travels at the speed of light. With those kids just hearing that offhand remark from the cops, it's like fake gun. He's seeing, fake. He sees that people are coming up. He's like, something's wrong. They knew. And then that's what it's just so the information travels at the speed of light and you can't take anything back. It's the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Wild West anymore. I heard some.
Those walking spiders aren't coming back anytime soon.
I don't like spiders.
Did I say walking spiders?
Maybe.
I meant like the Wild Wild West giant mechanical spider.
Yeah, Loveless.
And
That's a sci-fi movie.
I realized I just said walking spiders. Like, I mean all spiders.
Yeah. You never do see a crippled spider, do you? This is staying in the episode. I can't remember. I just read an article, or part of an article anyway. Isn't that just the 2019 in a nutshell? I read a headline, but the internet's just so. It seems like even 10 or 15 years ago, the internet was the Wild West. It was the next frontier in terms of just going out and exploring the expansive nothing that is there, and it's just more quote unquote civilized now. Back in, I don't know, 2008, there were 1 trillion websites. Now there are like 6.
I mean, there are still 1 trillion websites.
Yeah, but
just
everybody, if you look on your phone, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, if you're a maniac, then Tumblr.
I still use Google Plus.
Yeah.
You actually, I know you're lying because it got shut down.
No, Mark's got a private server. And then Snapchat, Reddit. There are five or 6 websites. There nobody goes on the internet.
AOL. Don't forget AOL.
Yeah, I use AIM right now. Mark, check your messages. I've got a great talking point.
That's a true point. People don't browse the web anymore. Wikipedia is where you go if you have to browse for something.
I disagree because
that's not true.
I mean,
Reddit
I still browse
is browsing the internet.
I still browse, but you're
fair.
going
But
on
a lot
one
of
site
times you're
to do
not
it.
going to websites.
But
they'll just give you all
before
the
you
info
were,
need.
you were going on Google, you were going on Stumble Upon, you were going on Ask Jeeves.
But even Stumble Upon was just a standalone app. It wasn't a website that you went to
Yes, it was.
look through links. It was not me. When I was on Firefox, I always just had the Stumble Upon extension, and I would just hit that on the bar, and it would just take me to a random website.
Well, Sonny, that came after the website, which
Okay.
I
After the
access through
website
CompuServe.
But at the same time, how is that not browsing the web? You're literally getting a random web page.
And it's the same thing with Reddit. There's a reason Reddit calls themselves the front page.
Let's
of the
do an
internet.
episode about SEO. Let's just do that.
I can.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Yeah.
All right, so guys, real quick, let's go around the table. Good sci-fi or bad sci-fi for Smithereens? We're gonna start with you, Ben.
Okay, fine. Not sci-fi, so I guess bad sci-fi. It's neither. I guess it's science, but it's not. I guess it's fiction too. All right, it's fine sci-fi.
I just concession. That
was a roller coaster ride.
I heard what was happening, but I would love to have seen what was going on in your head.
It's fine. It's not my kind of sci-fi, but it's fine. Okay.
I'll say I love the story. Bad sci-fi. You don't set a sci-fi in modern day with our current technology. That's not the point of sci-fi. It's asking questions using metaphors, and this was literally just a snapshot of our world.
Everything that Matt just said was what I was going to say, essentially.
Suck it.
So, bad sci-fi. Good episode, bad sci-fi.
I agree. Bad sci-fi.
I thought it wasn't great sci-fi for the exact reason Ben stated. I thought it was a great 1984.
Yeah.
Which is the past.
You know what? I will say the one thing I did love was they basically showed how obsolete the FBI is now with...
Oh, they destroyed the FBI.
Yeah, that was great.
Hey, dunked on him.
Dunked.
For two.
Bill.
I'd say that there were no new ideas presented. I believe that that's bad sci-fi when it's like, oh, we're distracted and we don't pay enough attention. Okay, cool. You made an episode of Black Mirror about that.
Bill's laying down the 3 laws of sci-fi in this thing.
I really appreciate that you're an engineer now, because you're going to be that engineer that everyone like tunes in hoping that he'll say more.
Is he going to say the words? Is he going to do anything besides, hey?
Because compared to all of us, you sound eloquent and well-spoken. Which you are anyway. That sounded worse than I meant it.
Fooled you.
You are the eloquent and well-spoken one.
Fooled you, everybody. This is my real voice. Hey, everybody. Bwah, 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 bwah. Please edit that in, Foghorn.
I honestly think we need to move on to the next episode now because it is getting late as we record this. So
The best one.
yeah, so the episode 3 was Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. Directed by Anne Sawitsky. Don't know what else she's done. And written by Charlie Brooker.
Wow.
I just want to point out all of Black Mirror's best episodes aren't written by Charlie Brooker, so take that for what you will.
I will take that for what you. Who wants to sum this one up real quick?
Sure. By memory. Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 is about Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. Rachel is a girl who doesn't really fit into her new school, as we've all felt.
She's 15.
Jack is her older sister.
Edgy.
Rachel is edgy rock girl. Rachel is
Only
obsessed.
listens to Pixies.
Rachel's
Only listens
obsessed
to
with
shitty
a,
bands like Sonic Youth.
Rachel is obsessed with a pop star named Ashley, who comes out with a new android called Ashley 2, which is basically like that RoboPup.
No, it's like a shitty Jibo. It's like a knockoff Jibo.
And she begins spending time with it. Meanwhile, the real Ashley is wrapped up in a crazy plot.
Played by Miley Cyrus. Of Hannah Montana fame. I don't think she's done anything else.
It is wrapped up in a crazy plot where she is attempted to be murdered by her
Bitch of an aunt.
who is also her manager, so that they can then mine her. She's put in a coma, so then they can mine her mind for music that they could sell, and then there are holograms and blah blah blah. Anyway, Ashley 2 comes to life after something is deleted from her brain.
She sees a news report.
What he's seeing in a news report.
Real Ashley.
Do you want to do this?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to do it anymore. No, because you're summing it up. I'm just talking about key plot points. I'm basically just going to recite the episode from memory.
You're summing it up. I'm just basically summing it up, but in other...
Ashley
other
2
words.
sees a news report that Ashley is in a coma. It sends her crazy, breaks some coding. It turns out it's the same kind of software we see in Black Mirror many, many times, where it's her full mind in the robot, and they go out on a mission to first kill, then save Ashley from her crazy aunt, and that's basically it.
Kill her from her crazy aunt.
Yeah.
Well, they go. Angry Rice thinks that they're going to save Rachel, and Jack think they're going to save her. Ashley 2 obviously plans to kill her, knowing that she can't be saved, thinking she can't be saved, but discovering that she can. Thank God there was her redeeming factor in this.
You know what?
Series,
I spent about 50% of the episode disliking it, just because I was like, where is this going? This is meandering about.
Very tropey.
It was very tropey. I took one look at this Jibo knockoff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's going on? I think what really did it for me, there was a definitive turning point in the episode, and it was when her aunt poisoned her with her medication she had been saving. and then after that, it just became kind of like an Escape to Witch Mountain, harrowing teen adventure with robots, and then defunct pop stars.
Yeah, and you know what? It was entertaining. Like, so much, like, yeah, Black Mirror is like, ooh, gritty. Ooh, sci-fi. Ooh, look at this thing that's happening in our world. But you know what makes the best Black Mirror episodes? They're entertaining, and they hold my attention. And the first two, the second one did a little bit of that, but lost me towards the end. And the first one did none of that. And like, yes, it's tropey, as Mark said. Like, it has full of cliches, but it's just fun. And I thought, like I love Angry Rice, number one. I've thought she's been like a star to watch since The Nice Guys.
Oh yeah,
Ryan Gosling.
That was where I recognized her from.
And she's in Spider-Man. She is Betty Brant in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And she's just hilarious. She's like, her comedic timing has been like that since she's a kid. And she was fun to watch. And I thought I've always liked Miley Cyrus. I've never had an issue with her. Like, the public decided to have an issue with her at one point, and then they're like, I guess she's okay. And I always thought she was cool, and I thought she did a really good job in this. It was nice to see her acting again. Big fan of Hannah Montana, and I liked the outcome. I thought, ooh, a happy ending. We don't get those often, and so
We don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
that was-
9 Inch Nails too.
That was the big thing for me in that episode. Is I feel like most of the episodes, I haven't seen all of Black Mirror's episodes, but more than nearly
90%.
all of them. Yeah,
More
Probably
than 95%.
more than 90% of them. And you're just like, oh, that was really interesting, like in retrospective, but kind of bummed out. And that ended, and there was a lot to think about, and it also had a nice, like, positive ending to it.
literally all the protagonists made out well there.
Yeah.
Like, Ashley, too, still stuck around. And so, I don't know how much Black Mirror you guys have all watched, but that tech of Ashley, too, is very prominent in the series.
the like mental snapshots stuff. Yeah.
It's a very common thing that's
They
been
did that
used
in White Christmas too.
White
or at least
Christmas
a
uses
variation
it.
of it.
And it was in Black Museum. It was...
The electric chair.
I didn't watch it. I've watched exactly
Black Museum's fantastic.
5 or
Black
6
Museum
episodes,
is
I think.
good. Oh, I've seen that.
I watched
Oh,
USS
they're all-
Callister, Prime Minister and the Pig, and White Christmas, and then these 3 episodes.
So it was cool to see that tech back, and I was really happy to. And normally, when that tech's involved, you go, because everything bad's about to happen from here on out. Because you're putting a brain in a computer, and people don't like that. But this one, it turned out okay, and like I like that Ashley too very quickly accepted her position in the world, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And she's just like, yeah, no, I'm a robot. I'm not Ashley. I'm her mind, but I'm basically Ashley. And then it's just like she just hangs out with
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
I did have a moment after the episode where I was like, oh no, I realized all those robots that got crunched up in the factory. Ugh.
But then you got to question: does it matter?
Yeah.
Are they really alive, or do they think they're alive?
Let's not get into this.
Yeah, that's...
I'm of the opinion, no.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting into robot rights.
If your robots begin talking to you, they have no rights. Destroy them immediately.
That's right. Alexa, kill yourself.
And everybody's Alexa's just now did.
Hey, Alexa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's on the floor, which means he's not clipping the mic.
I also...
cough, and then I started laughing, and I fell out of the chair. And
I had the 9 Inch Nails. I kept hearing it. That was all I could hear.
It was like
Get
a
what I
9 Inch
deserve.
nail in my brain.
Yeah.
Because they did the first one, which just a little 3-second
Yeah,
stinger.
yeah.
And I'm like,
That sounds
what the
so...
fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then I heard it again. I'm like,
That's
this is the fucking
definitely...
9 Inch Nails song. What song is this? And then they played more, and I'm like, this is Head Like a Hole. Why is this Head Like a Hole?
And it was...
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Every time they played it, I was like, how how did they not get in trouble for this? This is totally, maybe he had something to do with it. And then when they did that at the end of the episode,
I was so prepared to come into this episode and be like, did you guys know about the reference?
I have been told by my friend, by the way, and this was told by my friend, so I'm not saying this, but that version, Miley's version of the song, is now a gay anthem, quote unquote. Just so everyone's aware.
We're not here to talk about dystopian gay futures.
Here, I thought you were going to come in and say someone...
There is nothing dystopian about a gay future.
I thought you were going to say someone you know said that was a better version, and I was about to be very offended.
No, but apparently gay people love that song. And
it's a good song.
And it plays at a lot of gay bars. And
anybody likes any song, though. I heard Father John Misty cover "Closer" when I saw him live once, and that's not a gay anthem.
It seems like everyone who does. It seems like everyone who covers a Nine Inch Nails song just does it better, though.
Just does it gayer.
Does it better? Does it gayer?
On next episode, we're going to talk about all the songs that are not gay anthems.
So it's gonna be a pretty short list.
First up, George Strait. Here we go.
I got him too.
You'd think Ring of Fire, but it actually is.
It's all about eating spicy food, and then
Does anybody else have anything else they want to say about this episode?
I will say, with them just dealing with the Ashley 2 and this like mental snapshot, I wasn't sure that they were going to meet my like, new tech, like something new, answer, like asking some new questions, because it was all stuff they had before.
Mm-hmm.
But then the dream stuff, where like they were sucking the information out of her dreams to try to write songs, that completely sold me on the episode.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Sci-fi.
Yeah,
we glossed over that.
That
I mean,
was.
we could just segue straight into good sci-fi, bad sci-fi with that one.
I would say good sci-fi. They asked some interesting questions about people's rights and their thoughts and how personal they are, and that was great.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of it that way. I just really enjoyed robots.
The tiny arms! The tiny arms were so cute!
Mark.
good sci-fi. I loved it.
Great.
I feel like I said a lot already in that episode part. So
I also say that it was good sci-fi. Not so much the consciousness in the robot, but also the fact that they were extracting the thoughts from a sleeping person. Oh, that's a G. Oh, that's an F sharp. Like, that was cool.
taking those lyrics that she was already thinking, and it's like, okay, dial up the happiness by this much, do this. And I was like, this is insane. This is like, it was good sci-fi.
I got what they were going for with that part, but I didn't like that it was the famous music producer sitting there, and it was the artist manager aunt that was like, this is how you should tweak the song to get it to do what makes it sound perfect. And he's just like, no way, this is working. Like, he's the fucking famous music producer.
Ignoring her commands, and it's like, whatever, fucking bitch. You never wrote a song in your life.
Ben?
Good sci-fi. I had a lot of fun. Thank God this is the last one I watched, because if this was the first one I watched, I would have probably shot myself. It's... Okay, I'm sorry. I need to say this. I sound very, very, very hard on this season. I love Black Mirror. In fact, before I watched this season, I caught up on everything season 4, and I was very surprised at how much I loved it, especially Metalhead, because I thought Metalhead was going to be dumb, but Metalhead was awesome, and we should talk about it. But yeah, no, good sci-fi.
Good. Bill?
Oh, me. I'd say it's good sci-fi, but it's not my cup of tea. I feel like it's missing some of the je ne sais quoi of previous seasons. I feel like it feels like the American version of Black Mirror. I don't know how to describe it anymore. I feel like I feel
see
like,
that though.
I feel like there's like I don't know. There's
Zero British people.
There's an artistic feel that was missing that I really enjoyed, and more of a I don't know how to describe gray.
You're not the first person to make that argument ever since season 3. I'm not saying like that's unoriginal. Like I'm validating your opinion in this case, where it's like a lot since season 3, everyone's like, oh, it's kind of Americanized.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like I get it, but
But anyway, I'd say that what I'd love to see is Black Mirror go more to its roots and just put more
British people in it.
Yeah.
pig fucking.
Yeah.
Pig fucking would be good. If we could add that.
Can we just call it pig fucking mirror?
you know, I had someone who never watched Black Mirror watch that episode because I was like, they were like, the other person was like, no, we can't have her watch this, and I was like, no, we need to have her watch this because once she sees this, everything else is fantastic. And we had her watch it. She goes, I'm never watching this show again. Oops.
I just wanted to ask, can we say curses on this podcast?
I mean,
we definitely fucking can.
Yeah, I didn't edit them out before. And I'm not editing
What the
them out
fuck,
now.
Bill? Can you just fucking say what you gotta say?
Listen,
Heck off, Bill.
listen, if
Heck
I
off.
could leave this with one note. Pig fucking. Thank you.
No time for plugs. It's all we got, boys.
I'll just insert the same plugs. Insert game here, twitch.tv/that. Mark works for Oho Customs. Matt works for Oho Customs. Ben works for Aspire Productions. Colin does this podcast. Bill is our recording guy. Good night.
Bandersnatch wasn't that good, and you really should stop overhyping it.
My stinger is a joke that I came up with while I was in the drive-thru of Dairy Queen. You ever... Okay, so have you ever driven through Dairy Queen multiple...
Where we all
Yeah.
are going to, of course,
Yeah.
have our great ideas.
Yeah. Have you ever driven through Dairy Queen and, like, you ordered... Did you ever have a dream where... No, are you ever drive through Dairy Queen and then, like, you get up to the window to get your food and they do the blizzard flip. They're like, here's your blizzard flip. And I just want to say to them, this is the third time I've been here this week. I don't need to keep saying this. And I'll give them this like polite little smile, like, I've seen it. And it's like, I can't tell them this is the third time I've been here. I've lost control of my life.
I just want to add to that. How must they feel?
Hopefully it's not the same girls.
How must
Alternatively, I don't care because they're all in high school. I don't have anybody to impress.
Mr. Miller, I understand that it's very inconvenient for you for
Sir,
the blizzard flip to happen.
If I don't do this, Mr. DQ will come and he'll take my money.
Sir, I understand. I have to flip the blizzard. Where do you think the cookie dough comes from?
Mr.
To be fair, I pictured Mr. DQ as just being Mac at night.
That's a different guy.
I picture the Monopoly man.
I pictured a dilly bar with just a suit on. Like a giant dilly bar head. I don't know.
Aren't we all dilly bars with giant...
How many times can I drive through the Dairy Queen and have them be like, Mr. Miller, your card for your blizzard's been declined again? And then it just slumps out. They just turn it and it just pours out. It's powered. Dairy Queen blizzards are powered by capitalism. They don't stick unless you pay. Hit end.
Do I hit the red one or the block?
No, hit the block.
Okay.